is a quick... I just wanted to quickly make a video about some mistakes that you can make when comping for another guitarist, and I've done a backing track which is not perfect. Sorry, it's not a backing track, beg your pardon, it's a lead line. What I've done is I've recorded myself playing the melody and a solo over the changes of the song, in this case East of the Sun, West of the Moon, and I'm going to accompany myself, and I find this is a good way actually of working out your timing inaccuracies. The best way of locking in the time a little bit better when you're playing without a metronome is to count, so you get a strong sense of that tempo. I find if I don't do that, then I tend to slip out quite a lot and drop beats and stuff. It's really embarrassing. So this is the least embarrassing take I've done, believe it or not. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so that's my example of bad comping for the melody. You can hear right away that I'm just in the way of the melody. So I mean that's quite obvious, isn't it? Let's have a listen to a bit soloing later on. We're getting up to solo now. Yeah, let's try this bit. So what I'm doing there, you can hear, I mean, I can turn down a little bit as well. So, first of all, I was far too loud. Secondly, I was playing right across the range that I was soloing in. So as a result, there were some really horrendous little harmonic clashes there. And because the guitar sound is basically the same, it's very hard to avoid that. So one thing I could do to mitigate that is to turn the guitar down slightly. I still kind of feel like it doesn't leave enough space for the guitar. So what I tend to do actually is I tend to keep it really simple and keep it to like 3-note voicings on the bottom 4 strings. So this kind of thing. So that's a bit of accuracy there. I think it works well for the melody as well. So really I'm using very much Freddie Green voicings here, and I feel like I'm just going to give you a real example. So if I choose like a really clear example, if I choose to play this kind of thing over the first few bars of the tune, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Hang on, I need to switch the input on this. Bear with. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, cool. And then we're going to go. So this is like. Hang on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play. I'm going to play a slightly more altered version of the changes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Fine, that'll do. So that'll give me an idea. And if I play the vanilla changes over this, it's going to sound probably pretty rubbish. First of all, you can't hear it. So let's try a little bit louder and a little bit quieter. So yeah, I mean, so that I think is something I find quite annoying as a guitarist. I'm playing with another guitarist. If somebody kind of steps on top of my extensions, and I know that we're all playing with chord scale theory now, so we like this kind of thing, you know. So we play like the extensions as they're written, maybe. You know, so we can play without. We play pretty much how it is from the original songbook. But for me, that kind of misses the point of jazz, really, a little bit. So this is how I would comp, again, using these simple 3-note voicings. So on, right? So I think that sounds a lot better, and also it's a good way, of course, accompanying the melody. If I just play with the melody. So that's me doing the sort of that kind of thing, and if I just play it, I mean, you can tell that I sped up, right? That's a very different tempo, the first one. Things like that are just horrible, aren't they? So you can do something else, which I alluded to slightly there, which is you can question and answer. So if somebody's playing a... So then I can use slightly fruitier chords, but I'm not kind of in the way. I had real difficulty following that tempo, didn't I? It's interesting. I think this is such a good way to practice. I think this is much better than sort of recording yourself with the backing track or whatever and then going from there. And I do find that even though the tempo consistency wasn't as good there as it could have been, I find like if I count like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sorry, whatever the melody is. Playing melodies in time is so difficult. Who would have thought it? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, like playing along with that, just checking your time. You can hear me counting in the background, right? So yeah, that's a really good way of doing that. I'm just going to, so even though I sort of felt it with a 2 feel, I'm just going to show that you can put a 4 feel on top of that. So on, right? So yeah, hopefully some practice ideas for you there. Thanks for watching.